In the world of Swedish cooking, Chef Gert Klötzke has few peers. A professor of gastronomy at Sweden's Umeå University, a member of the Swedish Bocuse Academy, the gastronomic advisor for the Nobel Awards dinner, and a noted cookbook author. Chef Klötzke also finds time to mentor Sweden's up-and-coming chefs. Let's listen as Professor Klötzke explains the traditions of a classic smorgasbord and the culture of Sweden's schnapps and aquavit.
I think the most important thing about Swedish food is the smorgasbord. In the 18th century, usually when the rich family lived quite far from each other, they drove in the winter time to visit, and they started to have, once they arrived at the place, they would have aquavit. And then it went on with a little food, and it goes through the years, and you ended up with the smorgasbord. And it was really popular between the 1900, 1960. We would serve it in every restaurant, and mostly on Sundays, but even weekdays. And the important thing is the herring and the salmon. So the fish is the most important. But it changed for Christmas, because Christmas it was the slaughtering of the pork. So most of the dishes, they were pork, and all blood pudding, whatever you can think about it. And then it starts again to be a mixture of herring, salmon and meat. And you served everything. I mean, you would serve a whole salmon cooked or smoked, and once 10 people have been taking it, it was just a mess. So I renewed the smorgasbord and made a book about it 6-7 years with another chef. And we started to serve everything in small pieces. And the idea is also you have to eat it in a special way. So we will have about 16-20 different herrings if it's a okay smorgasbord, and we will have about 10 to 20 different fishes, 10, 12, 15, 20 meat. Then we will have the hot dishes, with of course the meatballs is the most important. You can't do a smorgasbord without the meatballs. And then you will go to the dessert, which are especially different between summer and Christmas, of course. So today you have the smorgasbord, I would say, for midsummer, Easter and Christmas. And for many restaurants it's the most important season to have it. And you can't serve a smorgasbord without aquavit and beer. But today, of course, you have wine also, so it's modernized. And the idea is you don't put everything on the plate. You start with the herrings, and also maybe boiled egg with shrimps, it's very important. And then you finish that off, then you get all the salmons, then you go to the meat, and then you take the hot dishes.
You change the plate?
Of course, every time. After the hot dishes, you can have some cheese, or you have the dessert, and then you ended up with the cheese. And today, of course, there are quite a lot of vegetarian dishes also, and if you like them, you have them before the hot dishes.
How long does it take to eat a smorgasbord?
I would say 4 hours. I mean, a lot of countries in Asia, they have their buffets, but this is really organized, and the way you eat is important. Otherwise, it would. You see some people that mix everything together, maybe also the dessert on the same plate. Sometimes they think that it's not food enough for them all, but it's really, to enjoy it, you should eat it slowly. You have a lot of smoked. I mean, the typical taste would be smoked, cured, sweet, sour. So a lot of horseradish and things like that. Then, of course, the reindeer will be on there as well, and a lot of game meat. And one thing about the aquavit is you never serve it cold. You serve it warm, so you get out the taste about the different spices and different kinds of aquavit. And you will most probably try 3, 4. And in all the days you had about 8 centiliter in each glass, which was quite a lot. Today you have 2 centiliters, and you try, it's really small. You try maybe 3, 4 different aquavits, which joins the salmon or the meat. And
what kind of bread?
Usually you use knäckebröd, and then we have other Swedish breads which you use, but people don't eat so much bread today. It's the most concentrated knäckebröd.
What is that, a wheat bread, a dry bread?
It's a dry bread, and you have different seasoning on it, and we do our own. So you can make a thin one, you can make a thicker one, and that's been popular for ages. But it's going back to the basic again, and you do some marvelous dishes.
Just go back to the
Yeah.
traditional way. It's going more back to the tradition.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. So
It's all local.
it's all local
local.
produced. Yeah, and in Fjäderholmen we do everything on our own. We do all the sausages, we do all the marinated herrings, and we don't buy. Yeah, sometimes the cold smoked we buy, but otherwise we do everything on our own here. And we need about get it ready. We need 3-4 weeks and about 16 chefs who are working with it, and we serve about 10,000 people in what's that 3.5 week
For Christmas.
for
10,000
Christmas.
people
Yeah.
in this location.
Yes, and every restaurant is there. Some restaurants they serve 30,000 people. I mean, then they have to buy maybe things ready. But we're supposed to be one of the best in Sweden to do this Christmas table.
Sounds fantastic.
Sounds like a feast.
Yeah, it is.
That's
It's
what it
really,
sounds
it's really nice.